Welcome back to Men of Steel. The Steelers tonight survive a tough one, 23-18. They had a 23-7 lead. Conservative play calling in the second half after they got the lead it's understandable. It's usually what happens in the NFL. But the defense was able to come up with the big plays at the end of the game. Of course, Levi Wallace with his second interception as time expired, and the Steelers defeat the Las Vegas Raiders 23-18. In this one, we saw one of the better games we've seen out of Kenny Pickett as a Steeler. He did not throw an interception. He was pressured a lot in this game, but he only sacked once. So he was able to get out of the pocket and make some good plays. I thought Matt Canada did a much better job getting Kenny Pickett on some rollouts and getting him out of the pocket. The Steelers stuck to the running game, 31 carries for 105 yards. Only 3.5 yards per carry, not great. 2 touchdowns thrown by Kenny Pickett tonight. One 72-yarder to Calvin Austin and a 14-yarder to Pat Freiermuth. When Pat Freiermuth is part of the offense, he really opens things up for the Steelers. They need to get the ball, concerted effort to get the ball over to Pat Freiermuth in the middle of the field. It's very key, very crucial for the Steelers in their success. On the other end, the Steelers got 3 interceptions today. One by Patrick Patterson, who has more interceptions than any other current active player in the NFL. And 2, like I said before, by Levi Wallace. They struggled stopping some of the big play receivers of the Las Vegas Raiders today. Davante Adams had 13 carries, 172 yards with 2 touchdowns. He could not be stopped tonight, just was sensational. There's no answer for him tonight. Jacoby Myers had 7 receptions and 85 yards. But the rest of the receivers did not pass 20 yards. So they were able to quarantine that damage between Jacoby and Davante Adams. Minkah Fitzpatrick was huge tonight, 11 tackles, 7 solo tonight. The 2 sacks by TJ Watt. Keontae Benton, first NFL sack. Very good tonight. Came up with some big plays. Provided pressure. George Pickens, 4 receptions, 75 yards tonight on 6 targets. Calvin Austin, the big 72-yard touchdown. He had 2 receptions for just 72 yards total. So that was a huge play there in the first half. Pat Freiermuth, 3 receptions, 41 yards. Came up with some nice plays. Came up with a big touchdown there to give the Steelers the 23-7 lead. And then Allen Robinson, 4 receptions, 24 yards. Had a big 3rd down catch there at the end of the game. Then Jaylen Warren tonight, 3 receptions, 23 yards. And he had 8 carries for 29 yards. Najee Harris led the team in rushing with 19 carries and 65 yards. 17 as his long. And then Kenny Pickett, 16 of 28, 235 yards, an average of 8.4 per attempt, 2 touchdowns. The big thing was he did not have an interception for 108.5 rating. So well done, Kenny Pickett. Massive to get the win before going against the Texans next week, who are 1-2. Another big game for the Steelers to try to stay ahead here in the AFC North, because right now they're tied with both Baltimore, who lost today, and the Cleveland Browns, all at 2-1. The Bengals play tomorrow night. Much more encouraging day for the Steelers offensively. They face very difficult defenses in weeks 1 and 2 between the 49ers and the Cleveland Browns. Not an excuse, but it's just reality. And against the Raiders, they showed a little bit more. They still have a lot of work to do on the offensive end, I believe. But I think there's still potential here for things to get clicking. So, Steeler fans, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Men of Steel.